Well, let me extend a really warm welcome to you and welcome to Round Glass this morning. I'm Vishvapani Blomfield and thank you for joining me for the fifth session on this series of engaging imagination. So in today's practice, we're going to be grounding awareness in the body and we're going to be connecting that with the image of a mountain. So as we get in the zone, we connect, just asking what's on your mind today. Now, I'm up with thoughts. So whatever happens in today's practice, these thoughts will be our companions. Now, I once did a long retreat high up in the mountains in Bhutan, which is a Buddhist kingdom in the Himalayas. So I know this all sounds very romantic. And actually, it really was romantic. For a month, I had my own little house at the edge of a small monastery complex. And it was high above a gorge and a day's walk from the nearest town. So it was a valley, and the whole valley echoed with the sound of a waterfall. And then looking up, there were almost always clouds. But just occasionally, the clouds would clear, and high up above us, where you'd expect to see the sky, there was this shining mountain peak, glistening with snow. And it was a shock to see how huge the Himalayan mountains really are. And I could sense or imagine why some people feel that mysterious call to climb the mountain. Of course, we speak of conquering Everest, but when you see a mountain like that in all its vastness, what you realize is that no one can ever defeat the mountain. So thank you for engaging already with the chat. And a few people have contributed, and thank you so much for that. This morning I'm leaning into the quiet, going to find a space to breathe in what will be a wild day. Okay, so good luck with that. I woke to a spectacular sunrise, so feeling very connected to nature. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to be engaging with. Ready to start my day by calming my mind and traveling through the mountains with Vishvapani. Good morning. I want to start the day with some deep breaths. All right, so that's really good to hear from a few people. In this session, we're using the image of a mountain. And what we'll be doing is contacting all of the feelings that a mountain evokes. It may be you've never seen a mountain up close, or you might even live on one. It doesn't matter. But it might help to bring a particular mountain to mind, because imagination grows from things that we actually touch and feel. But the most important thing is the feeling of the mountain, the sense of it, and connecting that with the feeling of the body. So this practice was first taught by the mindfulness teacher John Kabat-Zinn, and I encountered it when I was training to be a mindfulness teacher myself. So it uses an image, but that doesn't mean it's a visualization practice where you're simply seeing something. In fact, it doesn't really matter if you can't see a mountain at all. The practice encourages us to feel the qualities of a mountain, to feel that in our experience. So remember, this is your meditation, and I really invite you to engage with it in a way that's right for you. So, maybe your thoughts will be wandering. Well, just come back to the present moment, to the breath and the body, and really use the image of the mountain to connect with the body and a sense of being grounded. So it's lovely to have comments in the chat. If any more questions come up during the practice, then please ask in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them when we've finished. Okay, so let's set ourselves up. And just deciding how you want to sit for the practice, how you want to relate to the screen, your posture. So with posture, we want to be comfortable, but we also want to be upright. So we want to be firmly supported and just feeling the body rising up, feeling the spine rising. Deciding whether we want to close our eyes, which is often very helpful, but it's okay to have our eyes open. Not looking all around the room though. So checking in what's right for you in this practice. It might not be the same as what was right for you yesterday. Now, maybe just take a breath. A deeper breath. And just breathe out long and slow. That helps us settle. We could do that again. Take a deep breath. Breathe out. And feel yourself letting go with the out breath. Letting go, softening. And feeling the body as a whole. So sensing where the body rests on the floor. Contact, and then feeling the legs coming up from the floor, the torso, the arms and the head. Just sensing the body. And maybe noticing our emotional states. Noticing our thoughts. And now feeling the points of contact. The hands, so feeling where the hands rest and what they touch. The fingertips and the pads of the fingers and the palms of the hands. At the seat, the bottom, what we're resting on. And you may be lying down, but however we're sitting or lying, just feeling the contact at the bottom and at the feet. And sensing the floor beneath us, the floor, the earth perhaps. Either way, we're resting on the earth, and beneath us is the earth, stretching miles down below where we sit. The whole planet is beneath us. Just feeling that we're resting on the planet, and the body, the mass of the body, is drawn downwards towards the center of the earth. Sensing the body resting on the earth. Now bringing to mind the image of a mountain. Perhaps a mountain you know, or you visit. So the mountain rises up from the earth. And feeling the mountain in the body. As if the body was a mountain. Rock thrown up from the mass of the planet. And sensing this mountain, or imagining it, with the slopes and the scree and the cliffs and the rocky outcrops and the vegetation on the slopes. Just sensing how a mountain rises up. What it's like to climb a mountain, or to be in the mountains. The whole bulk of the mountain is formed from rock. Made of rock, solid, strong. and it rises from the earth. So feeling the mountain's strength, stability. Nothing can shake it. And feeling that in the body. Feeling the body like a mountain, grounded, rooted in the earth. Feeling the breath flowing through the body, the body moving with the breath. And sensing the breath is like the wind blowing on the vegetation that grows on the slopes of the mountain, moving through the trees and the shrubs, blowing through the leaves. So feeling the breath moving in the body. Like the wind in the trees, the breeze on the mountain slopes. Breathing, settling, resting, staying with the image of the mountain. Every time thoughts come and take our attention, just gently guiding our attention back to the mountain, back to the body, back to the breath. However hard the wind blows, the mountain stands. This deep core of stability within us. Body like a mountain. Breath like the wind. now imagining the mountain peak rising into the sky above the clouds. White with snow. Shining in the sky. Glistening. And then the sky all around the mountain, extending in all directions. Clear. Blue. Infinite blue. Body like a mountain. Breath like the wind. Mind like the sky. Mind open beyond the clouds. Boundless. Feeling the whole mountain rising into the sky. Feeling the whole body resting on the earth. Just sensing the body. Staying in touch with the qualities of the mountain. Its strength. Sense that whatever buffets the mountain, it'll remain strong. Its aliveness. And the open dimension, the unbounded scope of the sky. And then gradually letting go of the image, just sensing the body, feeling the breath. And starting to make a transition. Maybe taking a slightly deeper breath. You can just roll our shoulders as we do that. Doing that again. And this just introduces a little bit of movement into the body. Now it might be that you want to continue meditating, and that's fine. You stay with that sense of stillness. Otherwise we'll make the transition and start to move our fingers, our toes. But just making this gradual so that we can absorb the practice and bring something of it into the day. So, how was it to imagine the mountain? I was wondering, did you connect with any particular features or particular elements? Was it the stability of the mountain, or the wind blowing on it? Was it the peak rising up into the sky? So whatever it was, just letting that speak to you, taking our time to absorb that experience. So yeah, whichever of these feelings perhaps the sense of the connection between the body and the breath, the blue sky all around. So got a couple of comments. Thank you for the meditation, helping me overcome a fast-paced day. Yeah, so that's a challenge, isn't it? To not just have a nice time when we do a practice like this, but to keep with that sense of the mountain in our life. How nice it would be to have that sense of imperturbability. Whatever the world brings to us, there's more to me than that. Someone else, I connected with the smells and the strength. The smells, that's lovely. I don't think I mentioned that, did I? But yes, there's a sort of the smell of a mountain. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much for those comments. So yeah, in the course of a day, we can so easily feel that we're being pushed around or buffeted by events. And the image of the mountain helps because it's unshakable. Yeah, nothing can blow it down. So see if you can maintain that. Keep a sense of that mountain. You are like a mountain, and nothing can push you over. Yeah. So that's a kind of a precept or something to take away. And of course, with all of these things, just remembering we are imperfect human beings. We won't be able to be like a mountain all day long. Of course, we'll be buffeted around, but there can be the sense of a core. And then the question is, how can we come back to that core? Maybe you can just bring to mind the image of the mountain. Or perhaps it's more the feeling in the body, the feeling of the breath that you had connected with the mountain. Perhaps that's what you can bring to mind. So it's being in touch with the breath and the body, but feeling the mountain in the body. So what does strength and stability mean for you? You know, how does it feel to be stable and grounded? How does it feel to be the opposite of those things? So it's a very powerful image. I love that image of a mountain. There's some lines from the English poet Gerald Manley Hopkins, which I really love. He says, "Oh, the mind has mountains, cliffs of fall, frightful sheer, no man fathomed." The wonderful language. I mean, it's that's a way of saying that our mind is like a mountain, and also that the mind has some of the that awesome mystery that you get with a great mountain. You know, cliffs, great cliffs, places where no man has ever travelled, and nothing can blow it down, nothing can shake it. So we have that strength as well. Okay, that's the bit to keep in mind. And we have that mystery. You know, the mind has mountains, and perhaps what we need to do is to go trekking sometime in those mountains. So lots to reflect on. And thank you so much for joining me. And thank you for your comments in the chat. It's just lovely to have the sense of connection. So to stay in touch with the meditations that I'm leading, you can follow me on my profile on the app. You can also practice this session again. You can practice other sessions in this series. And you can see when I'm going live next, which will be tomorrow. So wonderful to share the practice with you. And I hope you have a really good day and keep growing.